Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK.
And I'm Courtney.
And Courtney, how are you today?
Well, I am just living the dream. I am thriving. I'm exhausted. Um, Last week, it's been like 17 weeks since we've spoken to each other. So last week, I had my swearing in,
Yay.
and so now I'm officially a licensed attorney in Louisiana. I won't have my license for 6 to 12 months, but I do have my certificates of good standing. I think I'm supposed to create a trust account now, but I haven't done that yet. So like I can't actually practice, but like once I do that, I can practice.
Great.
Um, and so that was very exciting. My mom and dad came in for the week. My mom's birthday was last week too, so we had like a whole week of stuff, which is why I'm tired. Um, but we came in, so we had the swearing in. I made a new friend, as I do,
Mhm.
um, who also is a double barred attorney, also in her 30s. And we're just like, I don't know, do we belong here? Why are we sitting through another one of
Wow.
these? It's fine. It was all very exciting. And then we got to go to Ruby Slipper, which is my favorite. So I had my bacon Bloody Mary and my eggs Benedicts and whatnot. And today I filled out my application for my notary license because in Louisiana and in New York, not New Jersey, once you're a licensed attorney, you basically just fill out an application and then pay them a fee. And you also are a licensed notary. So go to do that.
Which I do actually know because my friend today was asking me where she could get things notarized, and I was like, I'm pretty sure if you can't find anything else, I can have my mother-in-law notarize it for you.
Find you a lawyer. New York, it's automatic. You can also become a broker in New York without doing anything but applying.
Well, my
Again, I
mother-in-law
don't
is
know if I
my
can do that
mother-in-law
here.
is an attorney, but she's also a village clerk, so like she actually is like
Oh,
her
well,
job is
sure,
to be
she's
a
gonna be double.
she
Yeah,
is a notary, like that's her job. So
yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to do all that when I worked with Dave in Brooklyn. I helped him get all of his stuff together to update his notary. And he also had his broker's license because you just get all these things. So that's now that I realized that, that's on my list of things to do is to be like, what can I be as an attorney that's not an attorney that who just give me a license for because I passed the bar. Which granted, I think they should give me any license I want because I passed this bar. But we'll see what they
I
actually do.
still think you should probably not like just get an education license just because you passed the
I
bar.
don't know. Maybe just give me an education, but
Mhm.
I'll just teach law school. I'll just be qualified to teach law school.
Well, yeah, you could do that, but you also
Yeah.
to teach at college, you don't have to have an education degree. You just have to have a good
What?
degree. No, to teach in a university, you don't have to go to school for education. Most people who are professors at universities have degrees in what they're teaching. Like professors of
What?
like professors of like chemistry have like chemistry degrees. They don't have education degrees.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to teach like chemistry. I don't know chemistry.
Well,
That's really
you
mean.
also don't have a chemistry degree, so
No,
that's not gonna happen.
no. I told my friend I was interviewing with a school. I wasn't going to put it on here yet until I know. Granted, this doesn't come out till what, Thanksgiving week?
11
Week
or
before?
this comes out November 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should know by then if I got the job or not. But I'm interviewing with a university. And my friend, he was like, "Oh, are you going to be a professor there?" I was like, "No,
No.
that's not even a little bit." Like I might would get my master because then you have to have your master's of law to teach.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was like, I might get my master's of law while I'm there because they have a law program. Once I'm able to like take classes and then maybe I would
Yeah.
teach one day. I don't know, but like,
Hmm.
no, I'm just trying to have a regular contract job right now and
Yeah.
pay my bills and not work on weekends or holidays and have university hours, which would be dope. Um, so that's
It's okay.
that's all my law updates.
I've been thinking a lot about university, like teaching right now because like my
Mhm.
seniors, I'm helping them with like their college essay applications because their New York State's like the SUNY New York State schools, they have 2 weeks in the beginning of no October or end of October, beginning of November, where they make applying to college free. So if
Oh,
you're ready and you can apply before November 3rd, the application is totally free.
Oh, you know,
which
I think Tulane did that when I was in high school.
yeah,
Not
so like,
everyone
and
did, but I think Tulane did
it's
that.
for like all of the SUNY schools, which is great.
Hmm.
Most of our kids are going to end up going to state schools, and most of our kids can't
Sure.
afford a million college application fees. So like, we're working on this. So like, we've been like analyzing application essays, figuring out how to answer the questions. What are they about? What do we care about? We already wrote a memoir so they could practice writing about themselves. And then this week they're actually writing their essays so that I can edit them and have them all turned in by Monday. So,
Yeah,
I'm very mentally calm right now as my seniors are all like relying on me to for their future.
sure. Yeah.
Granted, I have six of them and four or two of them already said that they don't want to go to college next year. So like really it's four kids relying on me for the future. So but
There's nothing I hate more than the like intro essay and personal statement you're supposed to write to
yeah.
apply to college.
But I hate them too because they're so short. Like my kids, like one of my kids for her memoir, she wrote 2,200 words, and when she found out her college essay has to be less than 650, she was like, "What?"
That's it?
Yeah,
Oh man.
their essays can't be more than 650 words. I
Wow. I mean, it's been a long time since I applied to college, obviously, but
two of the kids that I've already edited were like one of the kids that I already edited, he started at like 900. I got him down to like 700 and was like, now you got to find 50 words yourself like to get rid of because I don't
yeah.
like it's crazy. But one of my kids, one of the ones who doesn't want to go to college, who gives me attitude all the time and skips my class half the time anyway. He um he said today, he was like, I don't understand why you're acting like this is gonna matter. He was like, college professors don't care about you. And I was like, what? And he was like, you guys all get so involved in our lives, like you care, but like that's not gonna happen next year when we go to college. And I go, I'm still friends with most of my college professors on Facebook. Like I talk to them all the time. I don't I don't know what you mean. And then I realized that I that might not be normal.
Well, like if I would have stayed in town, I would have still been close with my professors because I mean, I did a lot of independent studies. I helped
Yeah.
create our entire summer program for the business department. Like, I was close with a lot of them, even when I was in law school. When I came back, when I was working at legal aid, and I had to do my whatever my courthouse hours were called. I had to go sit at the courthouse for hours.
Yeah.
My professor was one of the people there from like who had taught like one of my business law classes, and I like talked to him. Like, so I mean. And I'm still friends with all of my, like, I'm friends on Facebook and LinkedIn with my law school professors and stuff.
Well,
Like,
and that's the thing. I have all of my theater professors I'm still close with, like, and
yeah.
nobody else
I
from
mean, I
man.
have my band directors from like high school that I'm friends with
Right.
on Facebook.
Nobody,
Like,
like, yeah, I'm friends with teachers from high school on Facebook, but like none of my professors from NU except the ones in the theater department. Like, I'm not friends with like my
mhm.
random history teacher,
Sure,
but like
sure.
I'm friends with everyone from the theater department. And
Yeah.
then from NU, like from my education, the ones that I actually liked, I still talk to them all the time.
Yeah. I'm friends with my college professors from the music department. One of them tried to date one of my best friends. Afterwards. There
Okay,
was no hurt feelings there. It just wasn't a good fit.
one of
I
my
still like
co
them both.
one of my college professors from undergrad was the professor that everybody was like, he's definitely sleeping with students.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he was, but that was definitely the rumor. And I was like, well, if he is, can someone let me know? Because I would be on that.
Oh, this was like probably 5 years after we graduated. I think he was only like 5 years older than us. So
Oh no,
like he was
this
like
man
my
is
friend was like 25 when this happened or 24 or something. Like we were out of college.
yeah, no, this man's oldest son started college this year.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Yeah.
Yep.
No. No,
But
this is not that.
theater is a weird place, man,
Hmm.
because literally your entire like academic career is also just like ripping your emotions open and trying to go to group therapy while also feeling everything
Yeah.
you've ever felt at 8 o'clock in the morning with a hangover.
Hmm.
You develop really unhealthy relationships with each
Music is the
other.
same. Music's the same. Yeah.
It is not healthy.
I had 9 classes a quarter. Most people had three. We had 9 classes every quarter for music. And so I would leave
Wait,
campus
people
at
have
like 3
three
a.m.
classes?
for quarters because we instead of it being broken up to like 18 hours, it's
Oh,
12 hours.
wait, you guys
So we'll
did
do a class 3 or 4
quarters?
hours. Yeah.
Quarters in
Yeah.
college?
I know. That's where it was. And so we had quarters, but we had 9 classes when I was a music major every time. So we're having triple the classes of everyone else.
No,
But
we
like some
had
of them don't count.
well, and
It
that's
was
the thing.
wild.
So I had like I did regular semesters and it was like
Mhm.
18 credit hours. So it was like six
Right.
classes a semester, except for not really because like your one credit was your theater work credit, which was
Mhm.
like you working for tech week on the show. So like
Yeah.
in addition to your other six classes, you were also working 42 like days,
Right.
14-hour days in a row building a set. Like
Yeah. That was when
so
I did Pippin in college,
yeah.
and so we had like 17 hours of practice on top of the shows we did for 2.5 weeks. Like,
I will
yeah.
never forget my freshman year. We did the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee in our black box theater, and we turned the black box into a gymnasium.
I remember you
I
telling me about that. Yeah.
I painted the lines that separate the planks on the gym floor. I did every single one of them. Do you know how many hours it takes to create a gymnasium floor by painting black lines
I
across
mean,
the
I know how long it took you to paint your books for your centerpieces,
uh-huh.
and that feels like a lot less.
And that was one college credit.
Yeah. Yep. We didn't even get college credit for our performance hours every Wednesday. It was 0 credit hours, but you couldn't miss but 2 classes per quarter. And you had to be there every week for at least an hour. And
Guys,
sometimes it was longer.
don't go into the arts. I mean,
Don't
do.
go into the arts.
I
But
mean,
right,
the
right.
arts are great. We support them. We love them. We need them. We wouldn't have this podcast without them. But like
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
also, if you really want to know if you're cut out for the arts, just ask us questions about college because it was a
God.
fucking terrible experience.
Yeah. I switched to business and then started working 3 jobs while I was doing my business degree because like I had the time for it. Like, I mean, I didn't, that wasn't good for me, but like I was able to work 3 jobs then when I only worked 1 job while I was a music major and barely
Yeah.
did it.
No, I was about to say I finally stopped feeling like I was drowning and could do anything I wanted when I quit theater, and then I remembered I didn't. I'm still working in theater and I still feel like I'm drowning.
Yeah.
So
I went back to music and started drowning. But here we
yeah.
are in law, thriving.
Everything's great. And since we're obviously thriving, I didn't share anything about my life except for, well, I did. I talked about my seniors and the stress of taking care of them. I was like, I didn't share anything about my life, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't care. Can you give me some words of advice for
Oh my
the
gosh. I
apathy?
surely can. I surely can.
The apathy that is my current life experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Above all, be the heroine of your life, not the victim. Nora Ephron.
Hell yeah. So
That's what I have for you.
today we are
Yes.
talking about Stargate Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 10, The Storm. It was rated 8.2 stars, and Dan forgot that it was a mid-season cliffhanger and was really upset when it ended.
I forgot you told me this was mid-season cliffhanger.
Yeah. You're like, does that make more sense now?
Yes, yes, it does.
When the episode ended with a to be continued, Dan goes, "What?" I go,
Yeah, mine almost started playing the next episode, and then I was like, wait.
so it premiered on Friday, September 17th, 2004, because remember the Sci-Fi Channel is weird and the mid-season is September, like September 17th when normal shows are coming back. Um,
Right.
um, and I on this day, everything is exactly the same as it was on last week's Stargate episode because this aired directly after that.
Right.
Yeah. This episode was directed by Martin Wood with a teleplay by Martin Jarrow, and it was editing by Jeremy Pressner. So all of that is the same, but our story is by Jill Blodevogel, which that is
Did
quite.
you look up the pronunciation?
I didn't because one of the trivia on her bio on IMDb says that her last name is Dutch for naked bird. So once I realized that it was a Dutch word, I just pronounced it the way I would in Dutch.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But also I'm obsessed with the fact that her last name is Naked Bird.
I mean, what a better name could you have than Naked Bird?
She is known for Scream, the TV series, Moonlight, Eureka, and Berlin Station. All of those are technically falling under known for as a producer, but I believe at least two of the three she also wrote for. Um,
Okay.
she does only have 26 writing credits, but they're very widespread. She is one of the main writers. She's actually credited for creating, writing, and producing for Scream, the TV series. Um, but my favorite thing that she wrote was that she is responsible for one of the three shorts in Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True.
Oh,
Unfortunately, it is not the one with Anastasia and the Baker, which is the best one.
yes,
But
correct.
um, she studied English Lit in college. Um, and I really couldn't find a lot of information about her, but she seems like a really adorable person. Her Instagram is like pictures of her kids and like her grandma died recently and she posted a really cute thing
Mm,
about her grandma and she just like you look at her and you're like, oh, that's a lady that I would like want to bake me a pie and hang out with. She seems like
yeah,
she seems adorable.
I love that.
She's like from Midwest Atlanta, like Midwest, like Illinois, like not big city person, and like you can kind of tell she seems real cute. So,
Yeah, I've thought about looking into doing the Scream series for the podcast. But I think the last time I looked, I couldn't find it, or it wasn't like easily streamable.
mm,
Because I've never watched it. Like I want to.
I've never watched it either. I've never watched any of the Scream movies either. Um, my real only understanding of Scream is from Scary Movie.
Mhm, mhm. Same,
Um,
same, same, same.
Basically, and also that in an interview recently, Matthew Lillard said that if Shaggy was in a Scream movie, he would survive because he would be the only intelligent enough person to run the F away when he found
The
the
other
dead
way, yeah.
body. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, not, I guess not intelligent, just like normal, like
Right.
normal. This isn't how a person should react, not the way characters in scary movies react.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw another interview from him the other day. This is a little bit of tangent. But people apparently at one of the recent cons he was at asked him like what he thinks about these like really smutty books being about like serial killers and like stalkers and stuff. And he's like, I think these people need therapy. It was the funniest thing in the world. Oh God, it cracks me up.
we do. That's why we
Yeah,
read these books because we desperately
right,
need therapy and we can't afford it. Um,
right.
um, but also speaking of books, Rebecca Yarros, who writes the Fourth Wing
Hmm.
series, have you read those books yet?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well, not this is not really a spoiler because it won't make any sense to you. And even that, like I haven't even finished the third book, and so she was doing an interview recently, and didn't listen to the whole interview because I didn't want spoilers, obviously, because I haven't finished the
Hmm.
book. But she said in the interview that if you are not ready for Xaden's villain era, don't read the fourth book. And I was like,
I love a villain era. I don't even know who this is, but I'm excited.
um, I'm
Hmm.
not. I'm so anxious about it. The book doesn't even have a release date or a title, and I'm already like, I don't think I can handle it.
I love it.
Um, our guest star for this episode, I realized as I was doing this that there's like a lot of people that are like recurring characters that like I still haven't talked about. Like I still have not talked about Solanka because he just keeps not being high enough in the credits, and I should. Um, the person that I know you want me to talk about is not the person we're going to talk
I know
about.
because he only had it 2 seconds.
I know. I do have some trivia about him, but he is not the
Okay,
person
good.
we're talking about.
Okay, good.
But I literally, when I saw him, I started laughing because the trivia I'm going to share at the end, I knew already. And I was like, Dan, do you know who that is? And he was like, no. I was like, what? And
Dan.
I told him, I was like, it's Corey Monteith. He goes, oh, like from Glee? I said, yes. Um,
Pre-Glee.
Pre-Glee. But so the guest star we actually are talking about is Robert Davi, who plays Colonel Kolya.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Yeah, he is known for Die Hard, The Goonies, License to Kill, and The Expendables 3. He is famous for playing bad guys, particularly the Bond villain he plays in License to Kill is one of the most famous Bond
Hmm.
villains. Um, He was born in Astoria to an Italian immigrant and a first generation Italian American. So his mom,
Astoria, New York.
yes, his dad was born in Italy. His mom's parents were born in Italy. So he's very Italian. He was always involved in the arts, even like as a kid, he did stuff. He got cast as like a child actor opposite Frank Sinatra once. Um,
I love that.
yeah, he wanted, but he started really, he wanted to be an opera singer, but he damaged his voice pretty badly and then like was not able to sing anymore. At least not
That's
at
so
the
sad.
at least not at the quality that wouldn't be necessary for opera.
Sure.
He did go to Hofstra, but then ended up dropping out of school to move to Manhattan, and he worked directly with Stella Adler, not just like at her studio. Like
Oh.
she was his
Mhm.
mentor. And my favorite, he's still alive. He's had four wives. My favorite story, though, is the story of how he met his third wife, who is the mother of four of his five children. And he once invited Mickey Rourke to his house to do karaoke because they were just like buds who like had karaoke parties, and the idea of like Mickey Rourke going to a karaoke party is ridiculous to me.
I've heard these kind of stories
Mm.
about Mickey Rourke multiple
But
times,
so
like with different people.
Mickey Rourke brought his girlfriend to this karaoke party and introduced him to Robert Davi, and a year later, Robert married him.
That's
So like
crazy.
he stole Mickey Rourke's girlfriend.
That feels like not a girlfriend to steal, but
But like I also think that like that's the beginning of like a mafia movie.
they're
But
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
but yeah, so and she then went on to be the mother of four of his five children.
Oh, that's sweet. That's crazy,
Yeah.
but sweet.
Yeah. And I think she was the one he was married to the longest of all of his wives.
Mm. Well,
So, you know.
that's good at least.
Right. So yeah, that is our guy. And at first I like didn't I forgot who Kolya was in terms of the plot of the story, and I was like waiting for this character to arrive because I like took the notes about him, and like every like colonel or captain who was on the base, like talking to like McKay or anybody, I go, that cannot be the guy who played a Bond villain. Like that doesn't even make sense. And then Kolya like starts talking to Cowan, and I go, no, yeah, that's the
Oh, it's
guy.
that
That's
one.
the guy
Yeah,
who played the Bond villain. Got
that's the
it.
one.
Um,
No, over there.
so we start this episode with Shepard and Tayla on a puddle jumper on a course for the mainland. They're going to like check on everybody and the food and blah 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 and everything, just doing a normal jog off to the mainland. And they're cruising at a pretty high altitude above everything when they realize that there is a storm that like is taking up basically the entire horizon. So Shepard takes the jumper up into space to be able to analyze the entire pattern of the storm. And it takes up 20% of the planet's surface and is heading directly for both the mainland and the city of Atlantis.
When I tell you, I realized this was about a hurricane storm. In case you didn't know, there's currently a hurricane making its way around Bahamas area.
Yeah,
Also, in case you don't know, that's where I'll be next week. So I really needed to get over itself,
well,
move
so
on.
it has finished crossing through Jamaica. It's still in
Mhm.
the Caribbean, but it has finished crossing through Jamaica. And I
The other
believe
side of Jamaica is where I'll be, where it's going now.
right. I believe at this point, last I checked, I think there's only five confirmed deaths. Um, but like the infrastructure of Jamaica is pretty messed up. So
Yeah.
it's not great.
I
However,
mean, I'm not going to Jamaica, but I do feel for Jamaica.
yeah, no. However,
Um,
if it makes you feel any better, I was going to save this till the end. This is one of the trivia about this. This episode aired Friday, September 17th. Thursday, September 16th of 2004 was the day that Hurricane Ivan made landfall. And I don't know if
mhm.
you remember that because you also lived in the South, but Hurricane Ivan hit Alabama still as a
Mhm.
Category 5 hurricane and spawned over 120 tornadoes across the
Yeah.
middle of the country. And then the next day, this episode aired.
Yeah, we've been having tornadoes too because of these storms coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how you know I have retrained my entire brain. It's not a great story I'm about to tell you. Um, they test our tornado alarms every first Thursday. And because I know they do that, I've stopped listening to them. So
Ooh.
the tornado alarm went off at 6 a.m. Sunday
Which
or
is not a
Saturday or
test
Sunday,
day, which is not a
and I
test day.
didn't hear it. So like I woke up at like 8 and Kirsten texted me at 6 a.m. I asked if I was okay because it was supposed to be going from Luling to Ama, which I'm in Ama. And I was like, yes, why? And then I was on the phone with Rachel and she's like, I don't know why. She's asking if you're okay. And then later she was like, oh, there was a tornado that came through here. And like it didn't touch down and it was like forming. So like there was no
Yeah.
damage. But like I was like, somebody just call me. And they're like, you're not gonna hear your phone. I was like, yes, I have trained my brain to hear my phone. It is trained to not hear that alarm that goes off right by my ear every Thursday.
When I was first applying for teaching jobs, I interviewed with a school in Kansas and they were talking to me about their the tornado siren system in their town and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Hmm.
And I was like, that feels like more than I am mentally equipped for.
Correct.
The thing about Buffalo is like, yes, the weather is shitty. It's snowy. The seasons are drastically different from each other. Everything is terrible. New York state taxes are a joke.
Yeah.
But we don't get hurricanes. We don't get tornadoes. We don't get earthquakes. Well, we occasionally get earthquakes, but they're very,
I
very
was gonna
minor.
say,
I would say we
yeah.
get very minor earthquakes. We don't get uh forest fires. We don't get flash floods. We get blizzards.
Hmm.
And even then, we're usually pretty aware that they're coming.
And y'all are like equipped for that kind of thing too.
Yeah. So, as much as I hate things about here, every time a natural disaster happens, I go, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, we've started getting new natural disasters.
Love it.
So
Um, Back in the city, Rodney and Zelenka are discussing the problem, and basically they figure out that the weather pattern is actually not one gigantic storm, it's two storms that are converging and like combining power, which is why they're so big. But without the shields, Atlantis is going to be destroyed. Um,
yes.
and there is not enough power left to activate them, and the storm is going to hit in 12 hours. So, Weir asks Shepard and Ford to find a world that would be willing to put up 100 squatters for 2 days. She's like, we don't need to abandon um, the planet. We just need to figure out where to go until the storm passes because we don't have the structural like ability to protect ourselves at this point.
Right.
So they go to Manaria, who are we haven't met these people in Manaria yet, but we kind of have in the sense that they are a culture that has been working with the Athosians on planting food on the mainland. But we have not actually.
I did not know
Well, we didn't really know
who
this in
they were.
general until they have in the conversation. Smeeden is fighting with Shepard about the farming, and that's like how we know how they know each other. But it's like one of those people
Right.
that they just like casually, yeah, they've talked to them, moving on.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right. Right.
so they reach a tentative agreement, basically being like, we're gonna owe you one. We don't know what to give you right now, but this is like pretty pressing matter. We don't have a choice. Like we need to um, get our people off the planet and we can discuss after we get them here what we're gonna like give you, but just like give us the protection. So they agree, but after they leave to get the people ready, Smeeden pulls out a Janai communicator from a drawer and calls Cowan.
I remembered you had said we were gonna have the Janai in this episode, and I was like, "This isn't the Janai." So what is happening?
Yeah.
Obviously, we know
Hmm.
now.
So, McKay and Zelenka think they've come out with a plan. They're fighting about all kinds of stuff, and Zelenka is saying some weird shit about hurricanes, and they discuss the fact that both Canada and Croatia, no, Zelenka is Croatian, yes? Serbian, something.
I couldn't tell you.
He said it, but then
I couldn't tell you.
I
I do
forgot.
believe you.
Um, no, I'm just like, I need to know this. not Zelensky or Zelenka. Tried to type in Zelenka into Google and it gave me Zelensky. Oh, Czech. Okay. I was close. Czechia is in fact close to Serbia and Croatia. I was close,
Yes.
but so both Canada and the Czech Republic do well. I guess at the time it was the Czech Republic. It's Czechia now, but they call it the Czech Republic in the episode.
You could tell me anything you wanted to about geography, and I would believe you.
But
So,
neither of those countries are exactly on the hurricane
sure.
list. And so they're talking about how like dealing with hurricanes, they don't really have a lot of experience with that. And then Rodney goes, I do have experience with almost getting struck by lightning once.
Of course he
Because of
does.
course he does. Um, and then that inspires him to use the lightning from the storm and make like a rod to harness the lightning into power and use that power to put up the shield for long enough for the storm to pass over.
Right.
Um, so um and they think that like they figure out that some of the structure of Atlantis is actually designed specifically for that purpose, that like the ancients knew that the storm, because I think we determined that the storm comes about like every 20 years or something. So like they have designed some of the base specifically for this. So they are now convinced that the base will survive, but they still want to evacuate as many people as possible just in case, which is fair.
Right.
Um, then a we jump to a completely seemingly unrelated scene where we see a man fighting against three Genii armed with staff, and one of them is Sora, and the man disables everyone, including her, and a young man played by Corey Monteith comes in and tells Commander Kolya, who we see for the first time now, that Cohen wants to see him immediately. We know that Cowan has been formed, that Atlantis will be evacuated, and he asks Kolya to like ready his strike force, which Kolya doesn't want to do because he thinks all of these people are terrible fighters and they're weak and it's bullshit, and he doesn't think that they are a strike force. But he agrees to take them and go to Atlantis and basically take the base while everyone is gone.
Yep.
So, back on the mainland, Taylor Ford and Dr. Beckett are waiting with a puddle jumper for the last group of Athosians who have not been evacuated. They're a hunting party who was the last ones to get back because they were trying to find food. And unfortunately, it has already started raining, or it's like just started raining. The storm's about to get really bad, and it is not going to be possible to go after them, but they decide to stay there and wait for this hunting party to come back. Um, Atlantis has been evacuated, except for the command team and two soldiers who are somehow now in charge of the gate room, which seems like a terrible
Bad
idea.
move.
Bad move. Um, the Athosians have joined the humans on Minaria, and we see Smeeden dining with the Athosians, getting them drunk, and bullying him basically into giving them secrets about how to get on and off planet and Atlantis. And Kolya and Sora can capture this Athosian, steal his IDC, and agree to get him, or agree to use him, or get him to agree to help them get through the shielding on Atlantis. Then uh, McKay dedicates grounding stations to the three people who remain. He's deactivating Station 1, giving Weir Station 2, and Shepard's Station 3 and 4, which of course means Shepard has to go really far away.
Right.
And Weir and McKay do their things quickly and are done. Rodney is like talking to him over the radio about what to do, and he's working on his thing. But the soldiers that are guarding the gate get a call from with an Athosian IDC saying that they're injured. And the soldiers are like, well, they have an IDC. We don't have to ask questions. We'll let them in.
These, oh my gosh,
Which
I
I'm gonna be
there's
honest. Um, oh, sorry. I have to write a letter of recommendation for one of my students, and I didn't really know what to write. And I was gonna ask her tomorrow to give me things to write about, but she just emailed me her brag sheet, and I was like, oh,
that's
good.
amazing.
Okay. Anyway, so um,
I have some
yeah,
complaints.
you have some complaints. I before you say this, I want to say
Okay.
in SG1, whenever somebody has a correct IDC, they let them through. They'll be like, "Oh, it's a Toker IDC, open the iris." So, while the soldiers technically did in a way follow protocol from everything we've seen, neither one of them has even remotely the authority to do that.
Right. I think that is my biggest complaint because one, I don't think that the IDC was enough because also you have to be like you have to think about what's going on. You don't know these worlds very well. You don't know, you only have so many
Hmm.
like gosh, my brain. You only have so many people that you work with.
Yeah,
And so like you should probably wait for the go ahead, especially because like you said, you're not in charge of this. You don't really have the authority to make this call. You should wait until you have the authority. And where, did say, let him in, we're coming, but like they were just gonna move without her. And I was like, you can't
yeah.
be doing all that.
Well, and we're didn't really even have a chance to say let them in, we're coming because they literally just told her we're letting them in.
Yeah. So she's like,
S-
well, we're coming. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and like I said, it is a little confusing. I wouldn't really know who to blame in this situation because we've seen plenty of
Yeah.
times across the show that all it takes is having the correct IDC. Um, and only occasionally do we see them questioning the IDC for any more information. They'll be like, "Oh, it's Samantha, it's Dr. Carter's IDC. Open the iris." And like then it's just like somebody who stole her hand. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
But I feel like the people in SG1 like have a little more experience and are a little more qualified to make that call because a lot of times it's what's his face, our regular guy,
Walter.
Walter. It's usually Walter who's
Yeah.
opened the gate every time since it's started. And so like I feel like he's got a little more authority going in. Whereas these two guys look like they stumbled their way into the gate room and were like, no one's here, so they told us we have to watch this. Like, I'd ask questions first, you know?
Correct. No, for sure. I think they're stupid. I just also like logically don't know what the correct answer would be. I just,
Sure.
but so like I said, he lets Weir know that this party's coming in. They have injured Athosians. They lower the shield. But don't worry, as soon as it is Kolya and Sora and Kolya's men, and they enter the gate, they kill both guards. They secure the gate room. And when Weir and McKay arrive, he goes, "Hi, this is my planet now."
Also,
This is also
where's I know we've evacuated, but if you're gonna have people that are gonna watch the gate room, you're not gonna have like a little more defense in place? Like,
But that's
is
the
that
literally it's those five are the only people left.
yeah, but like, do we not have like any like automatic type defense stuff? Like
They lowered it because they thought it was
neutral,
the Trojans. They got rid of all of it.
I don't know. Just have like a second trial. I don't know. It just feels like
Well, the first trial was the shield, the second trial was the guards. They both failed.
I guess so. I guess
Um,
so. Just
and
felt like they
this,
got it really easy.
yeah, they did. This is the first time in Atlantis that we see any humans from Earth die.
hmm
So,
Mm.
um,
Yeah, that was really quick. It was really quick.
yeah. Um, Shepard overhears the entire conversation because of the active comm channel, and he gets the jumper bay to try to communicate with Ford's team and let them know what's going on. But then he finds out that they're still on the mainland. they're stuck in a storm. They can't come help him, and he has no way to get back up. And he's like, okay, well, obviously, as much as I need your help, don't fly into the storm. That would be stupid. At least one of us
Correct.
has to make it out of this alive. Um,
Right, right.
Koya's demands are very simple. He wants all of the C4, all of the medical supplies, a puddle jumper, and the Wraith data device. You know, just
Yeah.
just those things. And he's like, and then we'll leave and we won't kill anybody else. Um, Shepard hears all of this and then immediately hides all of the explosives so that no one can find them. Um, and uh, McKay is somehow left alone with Kolya, which is a terrible idea because McKay will break under pressure. Never trust him with your secrets. He will break.
He's I just need someone at all times to just like tape his mouth shut.
Yes, he needs to be under constant guard.
Hmm.
When Weir returns, McKay's arm is bleeding very heavily, and he says that he caved. We have no idea what information he's given. And Kolya comes back, the soldiers come back, and they give Kolya what was supposed to be the C4, because obviously the information that Rodney has given is where the C4 is, but there's no C4, just a walkie-talkie. And Shepard's like, ha ha ha, good luck, you'll never find it. Kolya knows that they're trying to save the planet. And so he tells Shepard, finish the final grounding rod, put the shield up because, and I'll let you guys leave. The only options for the city are that it will be ours or it'll be the oceans. Either it's going to go down, it's going to go with us or it's going to go down. Um,
Right.
so Weir tries to convince Kolya that this is a terrible idea, because she's like, only the descendants of the ancients are even able to control the city. She gives all of the details that when we first watched the Janai episode, all of the things that I explained about why Cohen getting a puddle jumper wouldn't matter anyway, Weir now explains to them. And Kolya's reaction is to be pissed that she is arrogant enough to think that no one in the Pegasus galaxy could possibly have ancestry from the ancients, and that these people from so far away are somehow so much closer to the ancients. Um, and he's like, not only will I use this planet, I will use this planet and I will destroy the Wraith and I will succeed in what you can't do. He's like, fuck you.
So here's my first question. I was like, yeah, of course they have this ancient power, even though they're from gazillions of miles away. Because didn't we prove that with the little device thing that they set off, were able to set off because of the
Yeah,
ancientness in them?
yes. Um,
Okay.
Also, we know from our understanding from the information we've gotten from both SG1 and Atlantis so far, we know that when whatever trouble was happening in Atlantis happened and the ancients fled, they fled to Earth.
Right. So
Um,
why would we not be more likely to be ancients?
Correct. However, that doesn't necessarily mean the Janai know that. And to
Hmm.
his point, these humanoid creatures who we believe were on Earth before us, before humans, we are their descendants. If these other human-like races exist in the same galaxy that they're native to, why couldn't they be descended? Like we obviously
Sure.
the ancient Atlanteans fled Atlantis.
Right.
But you're telling me not one single ancient anywhere never moved to the Janai homeworld
Yeah.
and had a baby there. Like
Sure.
it's
Yeah, like I'm not
impossible.
saying they're not. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
how dare you think that you're better than us, basically. That's
yes,
basically
but
my
I mean,
question.
right, but that's also his question. He's not questioning their ancient descendancy or their ability to use it. He's questioning that her belief that his people couldn't also. He's like, we are equally as likely to be descended, maybe even more likely to be descended.
Nah.
He's not saying you're
I just
not
hate
descended.
him.
I know, which is valid, but he's not, his argument isn't you can't be descended from the ancients. His argument is what makes you think that only people from your planet, galaxies away, are descended from the ancients, and the people right here, 3 planets away, aren't.
Because we hate you. Therefore, you can't be.
That that is that's sounding a little bit genocidal of you.
I didn't say we hate you, but want to kill you. I said we hate you, you're not ancient. That's what I said.
Yeah, but like, isn't that like the same logic that like Russia and Ukraine use? Like, we hate you,
Yeah, but
you're
they kill people. I'm not trying to kill them. They can survive on their
you
own if
you
you leave
you
me
wouldn't
be.
you wouldn't kill Kolya?
I mean, I'm not saying I would specifically kill Kolya. I'm saying as a human race that they are, whatever race they are. I don't want to take them all out. I would never Cory Monteith.
Right. So Shepard arrives at the fourth grounding rod. He uses an ancient scanner to locate the 2 Janai soldiers in hiding. He kills them so that he now has evened the score. You've killed 2 of ours, I've killed 2 of yours. Um, but the problem is, in the firefight, one of the soldiers destroyed the grounding controls, so he can't put the shield up. There's
Hmm.
no way to separate the rod. Atlantis is doomed. And Kolya's like, by the way, not finished. He's like, he tells um Shepard that he's going to shoot Dr. Weir because Shepard shot his men. And he goes, if you do that, I will destroy the entire city. I will use the self-destruct on the entire city. And Kolya's like, okay, but I know that all self-destructs need 2 command codes, and I'm gonna kill the other one. So good luck with that.
But also, he's like, you killed my men, so I'm killing your men. No, bro, you already killed our men. You killed our men
Yeah.
first. So now we're just going back and forth killing people.
Yeah. And so Shepard starts to argue he's trying to find a way out of this, and then Kolya raises his gun and aims it at Weir, and then the episode ends with a to be continued. Yep.
I mean, I have no doubt Weir doesn't die. I do not know what happens, but I don't think she dies.
That's fair.
We are very early in this show for her to die.
I mean, you'd be
Um,
surprised. You'd be surprised how quickly they can kill characters off.
nah.
Um,
We had to add these 2 new characters who've never even worked at a Stargate field so that we could
yeah,
have 2 people die this
I mean,
episode.
that's classic red shirting though.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like that's fine. But I mean,
Nah.
we never thought they were gonna kill Janet. They killed Janet.
Yeah, but like 8 seasons in, or
Yeah.
7 seasons in, whatever. It
Yeah.
wasn't like episode 5. I don't know what episode are we on, 10, but still,
10.
not season 1.
That's okay.
So I don't think they're gonna kill.
That's fair. That's a very fair prediction. I also think it's probably a very fair prediction because you don't the person about to die in a cliffhanger is never the person that dies.
Right. Right.
Which,
Just like,
which, by the way, have not watched a single episode of Grey's Anatomy this season. Super far behind on TV, but remember how panicked I was at the season finale about the character that I thought
mhm,
was going to die? Accidentally saw an ad for a new episode today, and don't worry, he's not dead. Because of course he's not.
yeah.
Because that's
I
just
will
not.
say that's the problem with ads. Like if I'm not caught up on a show, they spoil everything for me.
Yes.
I get so fussy.
I know. And let me tell you, I'm behind the entire season behind on both Dancing with the Stars and Grey's Anatomy. So like the internet is a terrible place for me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dancing with the Stars has got a lot of information on the
On the internet.
internet.
Yeah. So I'm struggling, but that's fine. But yeah, so okay, so Weir's not gonna die, but you don't know how they're gonna save the city. That's your prediction for the next
Yeah, I mean,
episode.
I guess maybe if they like do this long enough, this back and forth long enough, the hurricane will pass enough that everybody else can join them. Or this is I'm hoping that Sora decides that she's not terrible because she's friends with Talia and that she'll turn things around and stop killing people and stop them from killing people. And then Talia will be back and Talia and Sora will be friendly together.
I like it. I like it. So I did only have a couple things of trivia. One was that these are our first humans that die, and one was
Hmm.
the thing about the hurricane. The other is we've talked about it a bunch of times that Corey Monteith plays the random Janai soldier for one tiny, tiny scene in this episode. And obviously this is pre-Glee Corey Monteith, but not only is it pre-Glee, this is his very first ever television acting role.
Oh,
This is
I love it.
like
I wondered if it was. I wondered.
this is actual baby first time ever on TV, Corey Monteith.
Well, I saw him pop up and I had to like rewind it. And I was like, is that who I think it is? And then it was. Then it was.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet baby.
Sweet baby.
R.I.P.
Yeah, the Glee curse terrifies me a little bit. That's
Oh,
if you ever want to get me deep in a conspiracy rabbit hole, start talking to me about like actor deaths.
yeah.
I don't even know how to function.
Yeah, I that episode of his funeral in Glee is the still the worst thing I've watched on TV.
Ever.
Me and Caitlin and Carrie sat on the floor. Carrie? I don't know if Carrie was with me and Caitlin were there. It may have been Brittany and Caitlin when they lived there. We sat on the floor of our apartment and rested and made sure we were all together, watched it in the middle of the day. So it was like the least you could be
No,
upset and sobbed.
the worst part about it, I mean, I knew that Leah Michelle's like acting wasn't going to
Mhm.
be acting and that was going to be really tough. But
Yeah.
actually, the worst part is the scene where Santana finds out. Like Naya Rivera in that scene is quite literally the most upsetting thing I've ever watched in my entire
Oh
life.
my gosh. It was, oh gosh. Yeah.
Um, anyway, now I'm like crying about Cory Monteith.
I
Um,
know.
um, who do you want to punch?
Colia. I hate him so much.
Obviously. Koya is the correct answer. There's not really anybody else to punch. So even though it's not a great answer, I am gonna pick Rodney because he just said some really unhingedly ruthless things in this episode for no reason.
Yeah. I really was like, maybe he's trying to like do better and confuse people. Then I was like, it's like they're reading your mind because your face is so obvious. Like,
Yeah, and I'm not even
you're,
like the scenes with Kolya, like fine, like he cracks under pressure, he's not good, like I get it. But the way he talks to Zelenka when they're both
Mhm.
clearly over their heads with this problem is just like the reasons why people hate Rodney is like for moments like that. Like we're like it's just
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
just I understand that you don't know how to be out of your depth,
Right.
but like give it a rest.
Truly. Truly.
Who is your MVP?
Um, I liked a couple people, but I think I'm gonna go with Shepard because he like even it was so funny when he was just like, "Where are you guys? I just got here." They're like, "No, the first one." He's like, "I'm at the first one." No. Oh, but because he took forever to get wherever he was supposed to be going,
Yeah.
he was able to stay behind and like do his part,
Yeah.
try and save the world at least. So,
I I'm giving my MVP to I would have picked Shepard. Shepard's really the honestly the only good one. Nobody else was bad. Nobody, but other people didn't really stand
right.
out.
Hmm.
And like obviously I'm not giving it to Rodney or Kolya, and I'm a little annoyed with Weir and some of the things she did this episode. So I'm gonna give my MVP as like a trio, not to any one of them individually, but to them as a team, um,
Hmm.
for Beckett, Ford, and Taylor. And like their decision to like
Oh no,
nah.
there you are.
Yeah, it's okay. I paused because my brain doesn't work and
Oh
then
me.
it like worked. Yeah, my pause was exactly the amount of time that we were frozen, so it worked out great.
Perfect. It told me
Um
my internet's unstable, so it's
it
me.
was like I was like their decision to and then I like my brain shut down, so it didn't even like it
Perfect.
was great. But their decision to stay and risk themselves in order to make sure that none of the Athosians were left behind.
Hmm.
Um, because that's a very selfless thing to do. And there wasn't a lot of good to pick from in this episode. So,
Yeah,
um,
fair.
yeah, but now, in the Atlantis world, you have to wait 3 months for an answer to whether we get shot or not.
Oh my goodness.
In mine and Courtney's world, we have to wait 2 weeks because Courtney's going on a cruise. But in oh, and in your world of our dear viewers, you also have to wait 2 weeks because I forgot there will be an SG1 episode in between. So you also have to wait
Oh
two
yeah, yeah, yeah,
weeks.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You'll have to wait 2 weeks to get an answer on whether Weird dies or not.
Mhm.
I think, right? This
Yeah.
isn't. I was like, this is
Unless
not.
there's a weird schedule. I don't think
That's
there
the
is
thing. I was
though.
like, I don't think the weird schedule starts yet. Um, oh, it does. It does. Because this is a two-parter, the correct order is to watch them back to back. So next week will not be an SG1 episode. It will be Atlantis.
Oh, so you don't even have to wait a whole week. Ugh,
No, yeah.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Your answers will be given to you immediately. You don't even have to wait. Um,
Yeah.
so next week we will be skipping SG1 and moving to Atlantis episode 11, which is called The Eye.
Of the hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it
Hmm.
is the second half of this two-parter. So everything that you know, so you might not know where it's going, but you know what's coming.
Sure, sure.
So if you have any thoughts or theories about what's going to happen in part two, if you would like to do a, an ancient Atlantean DNA chain to try to determine if the Genii are more closely related to the ancients than
They're not.
humans, um, or if you would like to talk about the Glee finale, we're also open to
Oh,
that. Um,
yes.
you can email us at deathandaliens@gmail.com or follow us on all of the social media at Death and Aliens. You can find me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar,
And you can find me at CE Cloud 13.
and we will see you on Thursday for the American Horror Story Coven finale.
Ah! And the reveal of what movie we're gonna watch.
Yay! So stay tuned.
Yay.
Bye.